What's up, bitches? We are fucked. Oh God, you guys, we really are. So there's love. Okay, so Reef's here. Hi, Reef. Hi,
What's
Reef.
up?
Reef.
We got Crab here too.
Huh?
Crab showed up. Crab's here.
Hey, Crab. I haven't seen Crab in ages. How's it going?
Yep. We're here. We did it. Things are live, I think. Chat's going. People are
I hope
here.
so. I didn't look. Hold on, I'll look. Are we live,
Rockfin
guys?
takes an hour to know that we're streaming
Yeah.
for some reason.
Rockfin always takes forever. What is up with that?
I don't know.
I got a somebody just said I got a notification too, Natalie. First time ever. But I only got it for INN. I didn't get it for my own channel. I just got it through INN. So there's that.
Well, we're not suppressed yet, so I guess in that regard, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I guess it's apparently working.
Yeah. Do the damn
but
thing.
anyway.
Right? All right. Hey, Gamer's here. Hi, Gamer and Charlie and Cynic.
Muted that entire time.
Were you? No, you're not.
What?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, my stupid ass was just muted.
Oh. I have a shirt. Andrew. Oh, I miss Andrew. Andrew often does that on the vigils. And so I got a shirt literally that says you're on mute as a reminder for him.
Nice.
And I would wear that when we would do vigils together. I miss Andrew. So, okay, I'm going to talk about it because I think it's okay to talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to go too far into detail. I'd rather he do that. But his kid, I think we talked about this last week, is not doing well. She is getting progressively worse, unfortunately. I mean, which we knew, but I don't know. It seems to be moving a little faster than I think at least he was anticipating. It's the gist that I'm getting. And so I would really like to do something nice for her. For those of you who don't know, she is very likely going to lose her. Thank you. Sorry, my kid was just getting me a water. She's very likely going to lose her vision, maybe her hearing. So it's not good. And so I think we should send her somewhere, give her some memories, send her on a trip. I don't know where she wants to go or what she wants to do. If she wants to go to the beach or if she wants to go to the mountains or if she wants, I don't know. I don't fucking know, but I think it would be cool if we could I think we could do that. If we all came together, like just a little, a couple bucks here, $5 there, $50 here. If you've got it, I think we could pull that off. And you know what I mean? Help him out with that. And I think it took me forever to get him to agree to this. He refused 4 months. She got diagnosed over the summer, right? Wasn't it? Or last summer? Was it? I don't remember. I'd have to look at it.
I think I remember when that kind of happened.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but it's taken me a while to convince him to let us do something. So I haven't gotten like details or anything yet, but once I do, so everybody knows that's coming. That's coming, y'all. I'm going to be asking for money. You can call me a grifter.
Grifting for healthcare.
Grifting for people's children. How dare you?
Sylvia, she has a
that's how you know
I'm terrible at names of things. Hold on. She has a rare degenerative condition. I would have to like scroll back through a bazillion messages on me and Andrew's stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna ask him to tell me what it's called again.
Yeah,
it'll take me forever.
Well, there's a ton of stuff to bitch about this week. Probably, I'm sure Misty has a list.
I do. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid shit. So,
and sadness that's happened this week as well.
Yeah. Let's start with that because why not? Let's start off with terrible news and I don't know. So Daniel Ellsberg, if you didn't hear, I'm sure you did, passed away yesterday. We knew it was coming. 92 years old. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer about 4 months ago. So it was expected, but it sucks. It sucks.
He was a good life, though.
He did.
Found his family.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like at 92, like that's for an American, like that's really old. That's pretty old.
And he was wicked, like quick.
He was, he was still on it with Ukraine and everything.
Yes.
Like, he died like a hero. He still,
He testified in Julian's hearings in September of 2020. They screwed around with him. He had to be up very late. They gave him like 5 hours notice or some crazy shit. And he was, I think at the time he would have been like 89 maybe or something ish. So yeah, I mean,
Jimmy was talking about it too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was talking about how he had, he still had his brain, I think is what Jimmy said, which is good. So,
yeah, and I'm glad that like according to his son, he was in no pain. He was surrounded by his family. So, I mean, that's all. I mean, we're all going to die, right? That's the best you could possibly hope for, you know?
Yep.
So, I mean, it does just suck though. And honestly, I feel really bad for Julian. This is another friend of his that has passed away, and he's not been able to see him in years and will not be allowed to go to the funeral. And that sucks. That sucks for him.
That's the other heartbreaking thing. Like, I'm thinking, like, even if you let out Assange now, he's so like broken down. Like,
For sure.
5 years of solitary confinement. You can't.
Well, it's not just that. It's the
know.
7 years of isolation in the Ecuadorian embassy, and it's
Yeah.
whatever 2 years of being on home arrest. And
They've been talking with him for years.
He's been in some form of like detainment for over a decade, and during that time has been subjected to psychological torture for years, like ongoing. Like in the Ecuadorian embassy, there was like a full-on psyop concentrated campaign on fucking with Julian Assange. And I mean,
which
yeah,
we also found out about in folders labeled CIA recently, so that's nice.
Yeah, there's so much going on with the Assange thing, y'all. I could do a whole. I've been meaning to do a vigil and like catch everybody up, but I've just been busy. It's summer. My kids are out of school. There's shit going on. So I need to do one. But yeah, there's the UC Global case is kicking off. The case against the CIA. The CIA is being sued by 4 Americans who visited Julian Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy. Thus, they were spied upon, as was he. And yeah, there's a lot.
That's what I thought when I saw those tapes. I was like, he looks so much more healthier, like compared to now.
Oh yeah, when he's literally skateboarding, like
how healthy he looks. And then I was like,
yeah,
it's so sad how they've broken down this man to like the very last like stick he has.
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
it is terrible, and he's one of our greatest minds. I mean, and we've silenced it and destroyed it. It's terrible.
I mean, I find it funny, you know, talking to us, we all kind of know these things, but you occasionally catch that person who like has no idea or has been listening to talking points on it, and it's just like you can feel the stupid that they've taken in, and it's really sad. Oh, he's a criminal, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're like this, you know.
I'm sorry.
You're like,
oh,
you know,
shit.
He shouldn't have published it. He didn't publish it. He got forced to publish it. It's like you have to go through every little detail every time. So anyway, but so I saw Roger talk about it on live on stage.
Listen.
So
yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know. We don't have to. There's Stella's, if you want to go on the Ellsberg thing, if you want to go, Stella's been tweeting out a lot of videos of different clips of interviews that he had given or talks that he had given or whatever. And they're all fantastic. Obviously, you could go back and watch a lot of Ellsberg stuff, and it's all really good. But like, he was a day one supporter of WikiLeaks. Day one, no questions, immediate supporter of Chelsea Manning. And yeah, I mean, like Daniel Hale's team tweeted out that up until he got really sick here recently, every Sunday, Daniel Hale would call Daniel Ellsberg. That was his like kind of support. You know what I mean? Like he was like a confidant or whatever. I mean, that's just the kind of guy he was. He like really wanted to be there for other whistleblowers up until the very, very end. So yeah, it's just sad. I mean, 92, great life.
Long life.
Yeah, but sad. Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm sorry, I have to pull this up. It's completely unrelated, but this just made me laugh so hard. Oh, I don't know if that's right. Yeah, here it is. Okay, tell me if this comes up.
Yes, at terrible quality there. Yes. Yes, police, they're parroting me.
Oh. Do you remember that? The woman who called the cops on the black people having a cookout?
Yeah, that Karen.
Yeah.
There was an article about the Karen that called the cops on that black guy with the bike recently. Something happened with that.
I didn't hear about that one. Oh wait, no, is this the one
Oh, I
where they were
remember.
arguing
Where
over
she
the bike?
really
No,
owned. She really did own the
That's a
bike.
different
she
one. That's a different one. That was
okay.
a whole different.
Because
They had a whole different.
that was shady as fuck. She wasn't a Karen. Like, I don't think.
Yeah.
She was in the right there,
No,
and she got
this happened like during like
trashed.
2020. It was like something about like having his like dog, like she like pulled like tossed his dog or something like that, and like
No, I
like
don't remember
really
that
like
one.
weird shit came out. Where like it
Oh,
was,
that story was.
Wait, was that the park
people were so
one?
quick to vilify.
yeah, it was something
The
in
Central
the
Park one?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
he was bird watching or something, and she
Yeah,
was walking
yeah.
her dog. Yeah, okay, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got like he's like gonna host a
So
show
he's
or
suing
some
her
shit.
now. Is from like
Oh,
what I
Mm.
understand.
I
Yeah.
heard that he's gonna like host a show somewhere, like
Hopefully on
some
bird
bird
watching.
watching. Yeah, some bird
Yeah,
watching show.
that's a good
I'm
move.
not joking. I'm pretty.
We'll
I
buy
don't
it.
think I made that up. I just did a Barry Weiss, but I don't think I made that up. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
It's gotta be a better.
Pretty
gotta be a
sure.
better
Pretty
job than
sure.
that.
A
How do you
toady.
spell
I think
it?
that's a word.
Jamie, can you look that up, Jamie?
Young Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yo, Jimmy, pull that shit up.
He had on I didn't watch, but he had on RFK recently. Pasta had
I didn't watch
Cornell
either.
on.
Yeah, can we
Did
talk
you
about
watch that?
pasta? Let's talk about
Yeah.
pasta. Let's talk about my dude pasta. He did so good.
Fettuccine,
Killed it.
linguine.
He killed it. He killed it.
Bow tie.
Killed it.
Bow tie with a little broccoli. That's what you need.
Bow tie pasta is pretty good. I
Bow
agree.
tie-
Sorry, we're making a fucking
Throw a
dumb
couple
joke.
bow ties
No,
in
and I'm
there.
over it, guys. Enough with your damn pasta jokes. Let's talk about my
Okay.
friend Pasta, who just fucking crushed the Cornell West interview. He did so good. He was polite, he was respectful, but he held his fucking feet to the fire on some dumbass shit that he has said. And I didn't even know he said the Fauci stuff. What the fuck?
You didn't know about that?
Yeah.
No.
I knew
that
about
changes
that. Like,
everything
really,
for
my
me.
good friend Fauci.
As soon as you announce you're running for president, that's like an open door for everyone to go through your Twitter in the past 9 years and dig up all the dirt that's ever been said in like whatever past time. And like, you know, personally, I don't really like hold that like against him. I guess it is pretty like dumb. I mean, I'm proud that he said that he's against mandates. That's it.
Yeah.
At least
he did say that.
I mean,
okay. At least he said that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a very God. Is our bar that low?
Well,
I'm against
force.
I'm against forced medical procedures. I'm against forced medical injections. Like that's the bar.
Wow. But it really collapsed when he asked Cornell, like, was it like a bioweapon, a man-made or natural?
Well, and he's also, I disagree with him entirely on the calling Putin a thug and all of that stuff. And
like
there's so, and I disagree. I think I disagree with him on a lot. I mean, I like him. I think he is. I don't think he's in it for the wrong reasons, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Me too. Like that's the thing with me. Like I think he's honest and genuine.
Yeah, I think first of all, I think he's far too nice. There is absolutely no way he is ever going to be effective. There's absolutely, I'm sorry, brother Biden calling everybody you cannot. I'm sorry, politics is a ruthless game, and these people are psychopaths, and you can't love them.
We tried that before.
You know, you can't love them out of power. You can't love them into being good people. That's just not a possibility at this point. These are ruthless, vicious. I mean, absolute heartless war criminals and psychopaths. They do not care. They don't give a fuck. And you cannot love them into being better. It's just not a thing. So I just think he's too nice. And I don't think he's going to be anywhere near as ruthless as he needs to be. He's not even willing to like call out. I mean, when he started talking about Putin talking about Trump and saying all the things that Trump, I'm like, dude, and he was saying that like in justification for calling Trump supporters and Trump a fascist. And I'm like, you just described Joe Biden. And you are equivocating. You're pretending as if they're different. And you're pretending as if that there is a moral justification for voting for Joe. There is absolutely none. That does not hold water under any circumstances. Just objectively speaking. Yes.
There's a whole segment of him on Mehdi Hasan where he's like saying like where it's okay to vote for Joe Biden.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope.
It's not. It is not okay. It's not. It's just not, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Come for me or don't. I don't give a fuck. It's not okay.
But Misty, it's the most important election of our lifetime.
Democracy's on the ballot.
Don't you realize fascism is on the line?
Yeah.
How about we wait until there's not a fascist running for president? Right?
It's always wait. It's never the right time. You always you just have to
now
vote.
It's not the time.
Just vote harder.
Just vote harder. Just vote as hard as possible.
How about go fuck yourself? How about that? I'm over the pretending as if we're going to be able to vote our way out of this. And if we are just nice enough to the right people, and if we just get AOC can't do it on her own, if we just get some more progressives who are going to complete, they're already endorsing Biden. Already people are coming around endorsing Biden, and
all the unions are.
I mean,
17 unions. Oh,
AFL-CIO.
That's how you know.
It's June of 2023.
Yeah. They had to call
and they got nothing.
They're like, "Yo, give us some backup."
No union votes on any of that support.
And they got nothing. They got no concessions. Nothing was offered to them. They got nothing for that support.
Zero.
Nada. Zero. Zip. Zilch. They got nothing. And it's June of 2023, not for 2023, and they have already thrown their weight behind him and got nothing in return. I mean, are you on drugs? Anybody who is okay with that?
They might be.
They might be. I don't know.
They should be if they're not. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how anyone like Weingarten jumping in saying, it's like no, but God save the Queen, everyone. God save the Queen, man.
I was like drunk or something.
Yo,
I wasn't really like blasted. I'd be like, "Yo,
can we talk about the elephant in the room, please? Because we're all sitting here talking about voting and third parties and Cornell West. And y'all, it does not matter who the fucking president is. It doesn't. I don't know if anything could make that more obvious than Joe Biden. He's not making decisions. The president does not make decisions. It does not matter who the fucking president is. They don't run things. Like all of this clutching your pearls over who you're going to vote for in 2024, and it doesn't fucking matter. We're sort
run of by the conversation. It sort of is like people are so fascinated. They're so like attached to electoralism that like we're like sort of
people
like
incapable of thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I promise you, it does not matter who the president is. Your vote doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's all a charade. It's all a game. Your country is run by unelected assholes. That you nameless, faceless. You don't know who they are. I mean, some of us know who they are, but
no, it's like literally the corporations that picked them. Like and one of the WikiLeaks, actually revealed that Obama's entire cabinet was picked by Citibank in an email, a single email.
Yep.
They picked every single one. So that's how you know it's John Rockefeller, it's the Rockefeller family, it's the Sackler families, it's all these billionaire cabals that like are factioned together and like they attack each other, complete business. Like it's an oligarchy. We live in an oligarchy.
Mm-hmm. And your vote doesn't mean a thing. It means precisely.
Your vote doesn't matter. Vote doesn't matter. I'm gonna write that.
It really doesn't. And I get Reef and I were just talking about this. Like here we are again, we have to do this again. Another election season where we're going to pretend like the debates matter and we got to force the debate. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
Is no, first of all, people are still acting like you have a democracy to even fight in.
Like
that you have a primary.
It's like, he's like, Cornell, run as a Democrat. That's what they're
in what primary?
When you run as a third party, that's what their strategy is. They're like, oh well, Cornell, you sure?
They're not. It's a coronation. They're not going to give you a primary. They're not even going to put you on the ballot.
Sam, they went into a court of law and said, listen, we're going to go in a back room filled with cigar smoke and we're going to pick whoever the fuck we want. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it in a court of law. And you think that you're going to get a fair election? I mean, they told you straight up how they operate. And we're still pretending as if the Democratic Party is a vehicle for change. I mean, it has to be either you are plumb dumb or you are grifting off of that system, because there under no circumstances should anybody objectively look at that and say, yeah, that's how we do it. That's our rule.
How do they plan on forcing a debate? I've yet to hear that. What strongly worded letters are doing it?
If they just tweet enough.
Like any street actions or any like anything?
I haven't heard of anything.
A call thing. Tell them to call. Like zero, zilch, nada. They just think it's going to happen.
I'm sure there will be some podcast episodes. Marianne Williamson and RFK Jr. won't even. I guarantee. I won't guarantee it. There's a possibility that they might do it as a performatively towards the end. But there's a rule in the Democratic Party that you can't participate in debates that are not sanctioned by the Democratic Party.
Yes.
So if they don't control it, you can't participate in it. And so I
also
think
you can't run third party either. Yeah. That's a rule in there, right? That you can't like dirty break essentially. So to run in that party, you've had to sign a waiver saying that like you're not going to do that and you're going to support whoever the Democratic nominee is. Well, guess what? They've chosen that already.
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing. So I don't know.
I'm just tired of pretending like this is worth the effort. It's not. And I mean, I'm pretty firm on that. Like to me, nobody has been able to give me a reasonable explanation as to why this is worth any time, money, energy, effort, resources, any of that stuff. We should not be that makes you complicit in the system. You're participating in it. Stop. We have to stop. Like I don't know. I don't think it really even matters at this point. The empire's going to fail. We're all going to be
neither RFK or Marianne went to the unions to get support. None of them went over there to grab anything.
I don't know if
they didn't get it.
No. Well, that's not surprising though.
No.
Of course they're going to support Biden.
I haven't seen them say anything about it today. Like
union leadership is so corrupt, you guys. It's so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I think generally speaking.
It's like literally the mob. It's like the mafia runs the unions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's DNC party elites. Like, it's awful.
That's why I'm tired of engaging with these people like Kyle Kulinski. It's like it.
Yeah.
I don't. Why do you do that?
I don't.
No,
I don't.
I mean, like, it's sort of like a circle of people that are kind of.
I don't engage with any.
Yeah, I don't engage with them. I don't see what they say unless other people do.
It's like they're like they're like a big part of the conversation because they have a large audience.
Yeah. Not ours.
Mm-mm.
I know.
Not the conversations we've been having.
I haven't watched Kyle Kulinski since like 2015, end of 2015, beginning of 2016, maybe. I haven't watched any of, and I've never really watched Katie or any. I'm assuming those are the people you're talking about. I've never really watched those shows. Not that I'm like, again, I just don't care. Like they can do what they're doing. I just don't. To me, that whole like back and forth and the constant.
Yeah, it's all a game that they're playing that I'm not.
I tried to stay out of that shit. I don't care. Like it just.
Yeah.
It's all just silly. Like in the one time I did interact with Brie, I mean, I did not ever tweet at her, nothing. And she had Valshawn, who literally called her subhuman. And she had him on her show for 3 hours. And then she said in this clip, I don't care about internet points or clicks. I just want to get things done. And so I'm like, if that's true, why are you having on a person who A, called you subhuman, but B, his entire existence is about internet points and clicks? If you actually want to get things done, why is that the person that you're? And she blocked me. I was so nice about it, y'all. And I'm like, okay.
I saw her at the I saw her in person at the I didn't speak to her, but I saw her in person in Manhattan at the Worker Strike Back thing. I think she's like as tall as Chris Hedges.
No, but, she's I'm probably taller than her, I would say. But I saw she was at she came to one of our very, 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 very early Assange events in DC at the British Embassy because Nico was there.
She's smart. So, there's things that I respect.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with her. I just don't care.
Speaking of which, when's the next event planned?
Again, so Worker Strike Back, Thomas Salon, I take a little bit more seriously than some other things that are going on. And the fact that Brie is kind of interjected into this is sort of a problem for me because I went to the Worker Strike Back thing in Manhattan. It was at a Manhattan community college. They couldn't even fill up the room, and the whole thing felt I swear to God, the whole thing felt like a live Bad Faith podcast where it was Brie. She was the first one to enter the room. It was only her, and then she sat down, and the rest of the guests came in, and it was 2 union leaders and Chris Hedges. And then they just like kept on like it was just like every pause in conversation was just like Brie was just like holding the mic. She's like, so what do you think about all this like Democratic leadership? Like what are your thoughts on that? Like as if she was like in the middle of a fucking interview. It's like this is so is this worker strike? Is this what we're doing? Because I mean
I don't know what that's doing.
I'm
either.
I like Kashama too, and like I have I just have some. I might get slack for that, but I have a little bit of doubts about.
I have doubts about any kind of organization because it's always going to be infiltrated and co-opted. Almost always. I mean, I mean, at this point, it's really difficult to organize without that being the case. So
it's more about like Kashama and what she did with the Carpenters Union in Seattle.
Isn't she fucking with DSA too? Did I hear that?
Kinda. I think she's also not.
That's a mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Like these are all like the Trotskyites who are gonna like hold out like signs of like socialism now in front of like that's all they're gonna do. They're not gonna actually do any.
Yeah.
They're like organize. It was just like where my problem with it is right now. But I mean, I don't know. I suggest like looking into like what she did with the Carpenters Union. Like I spoke to someone in Seattle who like someone like from a different organization who was like actually involved in the Carpenters Union. She said that like she basically fucks up every like workers movement that she touches.
Oh, that's
that's what I heard. I'm not saying that for sure. Like
right.
There's articles on the Carpenters Union thing, but still like there's definitely problems.
Colin said he'd join at some point to bitch about unions.
Team Orca.
Dude, those whales are something that's like the opposite of bitching. I wanna support those whales in any way possible.
Yeah.
Speaking of Care Bear,
I have an echo. Who's the echo?
Is it me? Hopefully it's not me.
I don't like an echo, friends. You know that. I don't like hearing myself.
There we go.
It makes me angry.
There's Colin. What's up, Care Bear?
Wow.
Hi, Colin. Yeah, I am Team Orca for sure. And I'm sorry to the chat. I keep forgetting to look and say hi to everybody. Hi to everybody who's over there. Hello. Hi. I'm really terrible to chat. I'm really, really sorry. I told myself I was going to try to get better. That's not happening. So I'm working on it. Okay, I need to focus.
Care Bear, how do you feel about the unions this week? They're doing real well, right?
I'll tell you what, no one asked me how I felt about endorsing Biden now.
No? No? That's weird. I can't believe they would do that without asking the rank and file. That seems out of character.
Weingarten seemed pretty pleased. We should get that. Let me go grab that nonsense.
The video?
Yeah. I think you retweeted it.
I did. Fuck her. Oh. What a piece of shit.
Yeah. We've covered her quite a few times too.
My camera's still flipped. You guys help me fix it.
I think it's in this. You got to go in the settings and then go to video settings. I know. And then it didn't flip.
Okay.
Even though it flipped for us. It's flipped for us.
Okay. Is it
so hopefully it works for them. I don't know. They'll figure it out. Why wouldn't it? Why would
challenge? I don't know why it won't work.
That just seems like Restream's issue. All right. Let me find this tweet. Here it is.
Yeah, fuck her. Biden. And then she said some shit like the most labor president. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Oh, shut the fuck up, you liar. Lying, manipulative piece of shit. Garbage.
Why you always lying?
Allegedly.
All right.
Allegedly.
Let's do here.
It's still flipped. What the fuck? It's not flipped for me. I see it fine.
Hopefully next time we'll fix it where it like fixed for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think as long as we have it right before the stream, maybe. Poppers.
Aww.
This.
I just kicked one of my cats earlier. I felt really bad.
This video. Here. I love how she got, what's Caitlin Johnstone's you're about to read the dumbest tweet?
Yes.
Say hello.
Really care about people. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris really care about people.
I've turned into
get the importance of workers having a voice and students having real opportunity. They are unabashedly pro-labor and pro-public education. I'm Randy Weingarten, and the 1.7 million members of the AFT, representing public school teachers and school staff, higher education faculty and campus staff, nurses and healthcare professionals, and public employees across the country. All of us are proud to support President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for the Democratic nomination in 2020.
She's terrible at this, by the way.
Very much so. That's all she got.
She's a horrible actor. She's a horrible presenter. That is terrible. It's terrible. That's terrible. And
that's all she had.
And she's full of fucking shit. She's a liar.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yep.
An hour within the last hour, all I was watching, because the algorithm just fed me all these videos about Ohio teacher shortage, New York teacher shortage, California teacher shortage, and she's off saying, I endorse Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who have done shit for teachers, especially since the pandemic. And I've said this on INN. Reef knows this because I've said this on INN News frequently. Like, Jill Biden, you're a professor. You're supposed to be, you're a teacher yourself. You have not advocated for teachers in terms of of your job.
Nope.
Like, if we really care about teachers that much, why haven't you said shit about, as far as, teacher retention or teacher pay, or take your pick of any issue?
Yeah.
Have you heard yet a thing from this administration regarding teachers? And it's going to blow up within the next few years that schools are not going to have teachers at all.
No.
And no one in this country seems to care about that. We cared more during the pandemic when kids were home virtual, but now that we're back in session again, no one gives a shit about teachers anymore. So
I don't think anybody ever did, honestly.
No.
Honestly, I think that this country has long treated teachers like shit, and it's embarrassing, frankly.
But
I don't know that there's a more important job than a teacher, honestly. I do not. If you think about it, I mean, other than a mother, which I think is also should qualify as a job, and you should be appreciated. We treat mothers like shit too, but teachers, I mean, it doesn't matter what other job you have been impacted by a teacher. It doesn't matter who you are, unless you are homeschooled. And then even still, it is your parent or whoever your homeschool teacher is. Everybody's been impacted by a teacher.
And you notice that all the unions, at least as far as I could tell, are basically for white collar labor, basically.
Yeah.
I have endorsed. Haven't heard anything for the railroad workers regarding them endorsing Biden. Right? Haven't heard anything about that. Haven't heard anything in regards to any transportation agency, as far as I know yet. Haven't said anything about Biden yet. So this is just another example of class, generally. And I hate to say that teachers are blue collar, because that I think teachers is a very weird dichotomy between having that kind of status, but yet you're still kind of treated like shit. But I would argue, just for the qualifications that you need in order to be a teacher, sure. But there's, I don't know. It's immediately, it was just the idea of class. Profession, labor that generally does well, for the most part. At least the leadership are already, and you said it before I came on, it's summer 2023. Why are we endorsing people now?
Right? What the fuck?
We're only a year out. I saw this happen firsthand with the Rutgers union right here. Mm-hmm. They gave up after a week. They strike. They went on strike for a week, and they're still complaining about not having a contract. Well, what do you expect? Just union leadership comes in and they're just like, okay, enough, done. Because it's on that level where they make those kind of decisions.
Yeah, as I said, they don't speak for me when they endorse Biden, because I'm like, nope, I haven't done anything. And what demands have you made?
None. They got nothing. That's what we were just talking about, Colin. They got nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. And again, it is June fucking 2023, and you have gotten nothing for your support, and you are in the game already before it's even really started. More people could enter into the race. Lots of things could happen. And the idea that they are, jumping in so early, to me, it's obvious. They want to just be able to push the idea that they don't need to have a primary. They don't need to have a vote. Biden is the option. Biden is our choice. That's it. Look, all these unions already support him. There's no need to have debates. There's no need for a primary. Everybody just move on.
That's the strange thing with Biden is there's nothing like a substantial that he's running on. It's all media psyops. Like this happened in 2020 too. He whenever there's a run, it's just okay, he calls up his crew and they're like, okay, we're running with it. We're all going with Biden. All right, you got the call. All right, we're going. And Trump is a fascist. We got to go.
This is what makes me angry about the fact that we're even fucking doing this. It's all stupid. It's meaningless. None of it matters. And here we are talking about something that we all know is bullshit and that none of it matters. And yet we're all going to be hyper-focused on it for the next year and a half. Why? Yep. Why? I don't understand. I do not understand why we're so focused. Can we just do other things? Can we start building parallel structures? Can we start working on community gardens and mutual aid networks and figuring out how the fuck we're going to deal with the collapse of the empire?
God save the queen, man.
Because that's coming. Yeah. And God save the queen. And yes, go Deftones. Thank you.
Go Deftones.
Yes.
I mean, the reason you say that, but hold on. Let me show people this nonsense because it's worth bitching about too, because a lot of people missed it. If I can actually get things to work, hold on. That up there. This needs to close. Jesus. Okay. So I drag over here. And then
yes, I know it's still mirror image,
works.
guys. I'm sorry. It's fine for me. I don't know why it's not fine for you. Next week we need to do it before we go live. I think maybe
I'll remind you.
It drives people crazy because they can't read the sign. Would it make you guys feel better if I just remove the sign?
The sign? So you're talking about projects that they're wanting to do, right?
Well, we're going to end and we're going to help. We have plans to build a Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. We have plans to build in.
Where?
Wait, huh?
Where?
Wait, what?
We're going to end and we're going to help. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. We have plans to build in Angola, one of the largest solar plants in the world.
In where? Angola?
Yeah, that's building back better. That's how you build back
I'm
better.
going off script. I'm going to get in trouble.
They're going to build a railroad from where to where?
Guys, that's the president of the United States, and I'm supposed to pretend like any of this fucking matters? Really? God damn it.
Does that make any of you feel good? The fact that he's like, I'm gonna get in trouble. The same thing with Ayanna Pressley to Colin. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. By who?
They have a script.
The CIA? Like, do they have blackmail on you?
I'm sure.
No, immediately for that, Hakeem Jeffries.
Like Hakeem Jeffries too. They're like, oh, I can't. I'm gonna get in trouble right now. By who? You're the president.
So this is where the ambition of Joseph Biden is from there to there. If I can switch the fucking restream. God. Oh, is it gonna let me do it? Hello? There, finally.
There we go.
That's where he wants to from there to there. That's the railroad. There's a railroad from here to here that fucking leaked poison. You want to do it from there to there?
We're building back better, baby. We got to build that bridge, whatever that is.
His brain is
talk
not
about
the gamer.
fixing I-95 first before you talk about making.
Y'all,
fuck Biden. I'm voting.
Where's that at?
Orca 2024.
I'm so over this shit. I'm so angry that we are going to have to talk about this for the next year and a half. I'm so angry. It is so frustrating for me. I hate it.
What else do you expect?
I hate it. I hate it. I would
This
much rather.
is the worst. This is the worst every 4 years. It's like the election year is always the worst. Always the worst.
It sucks. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. It's exhausting.
Okay, so here's speaking of I-95. Here is Fetterman, everyone's favorite fucking Minions boss. Here.
Earlier today, some comments about the tragic accident on 995, and if you want to make any comments with respect to that, feel free. You're recognized.
No, I would just really like to, the 95, obviously that, you're pretty much preoccupied with 95, and I know I certainly am too, and we know it's a major artery, not just for Pennsylvania, but for the East Coast. And a lot of Pennsylvanians are worried that the delays in repairs bring to its standstill.
Earlier today, some
and guess who he's endorsing with that lovely, eloquent, articulate, very articulate man.
Birds of a feather.
They should get. You should have a mental cognitive test every 6 months, and if you fail, you get fired, and then you hold an election where you get someone else. You can't have these fucking elders running around
a collapsed bridge here.
You want just brain soups running your country? Is that what you want?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I just said. They're not running the country.
Walking sacks of brain soup.
No, they're not running the country, though.
I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed.
The delegation?
This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of law inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across.
We would not be the city we are right now without this man here. And I know he lives close. He's from Delaware. He's considered himself almost a citizen here. But
Mouse SF. I'm dying to see Fetterman do putting on the Ritz.
Alone. You have to explain. I better explain that. Some don't know what I'm talking. My wife's a Philly girl.
You know what these people be? These readers
the
at
president
Walmart.
again next
These
to a collapsed bridge here,
and
he is here
at the
to commit
checkout line that
to
check
work
your
with
receipt to make
the
sure
governor and
at Costco before you leave.
delegation
Can you stop the
to
video?
make sure that we get this
Right.
fixed.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, it's just
My bad.
loud, and we already saw it. Yeah, these guys. Listen. Fetterman should he's not fit, y'all. I mean, it is unbelievable to me that that's even in question.
Misty, be careful because people say that you're.
I'm ableist. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like
no. I'm not ableist.
But you know what though? If this were a Republican, if this was someone
like
Santos,
people
would be calling to get his ass out of there.
100%. Yes.
100%. We know that would happen.
Yeah, I'm just being consistent about it.
Right.
Because I don't like any of them. And yeah, y'all, he's clearly unfit. That's not ableist to say. That is just an objective perspective. That is all that is. He is not fit. Period.
Look, I'm not, and no one's saying, look, take the time off if you need to. Mental health, y'all. Take the time off. Stay with your family, get properly healed up, and then if he wanted to run again, like he's young enough, if he wanted to run again, like
whatever, yeah, you're free to do that.
Sure, go or do something else. Nothing wrong with that. I actually would respect him more if he did that. But you're trying to run the state and you can barely speak. But then again, we have a president that barely speaks too. So
yeah.
But again,
Birds
the good
of a
news
feather.
is that those two are not actually making any decisions. So it's fine.
I don't like the people who are either.
No.
They're almost as bad. Like, you know,
it's just
how is this what was come to? Like, there wasn't any better plans.
You know, when we were left with the choice between, I mean, I was done long before this, but when you're left with the choice between Joe Biden and Donald Trump for the president of the United States, I think it should have become crystal clear to everybody that it doesn't fucking matter and your system is broken.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your two options in a country of, what is it, like 350 million people that live in the United States, and the two people that you're left with is Joe Biden and Donald Trump for president, there's something wrong. You fucked it up. You fucked it up. That's not good. You should probably start over. Cancel
really
yourself,
should.
Start over. You know what I mean?
Cancel yourself.
For real. For real. It's just a stutter. It's just a stutter, guys. Ableist pieces of shit. It's just a stutter.
Like,
it's not a stutter.
How is that? How do they think we're idiots?
Yes.
And like don't remember?
Yeah.
Like we watched that guy debate. Who was it? Ryan?
He used to
Paul
be
Ryan?
super eloquent. I mean, still a douche canoe, but very good speaker. He was very, the internet exists. These videos exist. He C-SPAN exists. He's given multiple speeches. He's been a public figure for over 50 years. It's a stutter. Fuck you. No, it's not. That's absurd. It's fucking absurd that anybody thinks that is a passable excuse. It is not. It's not a stutter. He's never had a stutter. I mean, if he had one when he was a kid, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I mean, he didn't stutter on this one.
No.
That's the only way you can find room to pay for it.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just
only when he's
sad.
saying maniacal shit. Like
then it's a stutter.
I cut Social Security. I cut
health. Right.
Like when he's like being a real like asshole, that's the only time when he like really whispers like that.
He's really articulate at being terrible. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys.
That's what he remembers.
Do you think there's still a chance that Green Party nominates Howie still?
Yes.
Yes.
How much of a chance?
Oh, can we talk about that
big one?
So I just spoke to Ian Schlackman recently, and he, if you guys don't know who he is, he was a Green Party presidential candidate. He ran for Green Party in their primary in 2020. They totally screwed him over. I was a very early Ian Schlackman supporter. Covered that live. Talked to him, Dario Hunter, other people, Chad Wilson, other people who were involved in that situation. And the Green Party has essentially experienced a coup from the inside with the Hawkins contingent, and they are, trying to make it Democratic Party light, essentially another DSA sort of functioning organization. It's more of a social club, really, I think, at this point. And yeah, I think that is a very real possibility. I think, as Ian said, there's two big things that have happened recently that make that less likely. One is that Chris Hedges, who was an early Howie Hawkins supporter, has sort of defected from Howie Hawkins and is openly supporting Cornel West. And also Jill Stein has come out in support of Cornel West. So those are two really big names within the Green Party, like the actual people. And so that could cause like a shift in of leadership. But as Ian said, the Hawkins people will not. They'll fight dirty.
Yeah,
they're gonna fight this.
Right.
Yeah,
they're gonna fight. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's people are not necessarily talking about that, and that's the thing that is really
they're just assuming that Cornell just gets the nomination. Like that's not necessarily the case.
No.
Which, how does that make them any better than any of the other parties they don't like?
It doesn't.
They're just going to appoint Cornell because they like him more?
But even if, let's say for best case scenario that Dr. West wins the nomination, he still has to deal with the infrastructure within the Green Party itself, which is shit.
Yes.
So how are you going to fix that in less than a year?
That's the other thing. Like, we didn't know, none of us chose Cornell. You know who chose Cornell? Nick Brana did.
Yeah, well, Nick Brana went through a couple different choices.
You know what happened? Like Nick Brana, he couldn't convince Jimmy to run. So then he went to Cornell. He probably went to a bunch of people and he's like, "Will you run for president?" At the People Party, will you run for president? And then Cornell probably bought into it, and then that's where we're at now. So like none of us chose this. Like this is just like a formative just instance of something coming up. I mean, I think the Green Party is a little bit more effective, but we're kind of like throwing all our shoes into like one pit that it doesn't really be making much sense, especially like when we're like really not supposed to be focused on electoralism in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I'm not.
Well, I feel like third parties have just become an extension of the duopoly, in my opinion. You have the libertarians who are where right wingers go if they don't like Republicans, and the Green Party, which is where Democrats go if they don't like Democrats. And they're both equally as terrible organizations.
Broken. It's the system.
Yeah, like
none of this fucking matters until you deal with the broken system. And we're just going to keep, as Steve Poikonen says, every 2 to 4 years, we expect to like slap a couple shiny new parts on the machine that's designed to kill us all. And that's how you have to tear the machine down. That's the thing. That's what you have to do. But that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, I am a realist.
Throw your body on the cogs, yada, yada.
That's not going to happen. What's going to happen most likely is that the empire is going to collapse in a dramatic fashion. I don't know if it might be a slow burn. It might be over the course of decades that it kind of fizzles out. It might be something massive that happens that is like just a catastrophic shutdown. But regardless, it's going to suck. And I think that we're probably well past the point of no return, which is unfortunate. It didn't have to be this way, but I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed.
I mean, if those orcas can take down the right yacht, we should be fine.
I think they're finally had enough of their shit, and I think they're like gonna really.
They've been seen training other porpoises.
You know what?
Not
they're
just
sitting around. They're like,
I'm like, good.
When are these humans gonna fucking throw a revolution already? And they're
right?
probably just do it ourselves. We're just going to do it ourselves. Fine.
Oh, that reminds me of Caitlin Johnstone's The Wizard, when the animals are talking about we've tried to tell them. We tried to tell them they don't listen to us. Oh, that's so good. If you haven't seen that, guys, I'm gonna get a link for that so you guys can go watch it. It is fucking phenomenal.
Like some people think like aliens exist like for like the instance of like telling humans that like we're completely fucking up in terms of either climate change or war and destroying the planet, etc. And it's like, they're trying to like warn us or something because like they're known for like disabling like military systems like radars and shit like that. So like that's like what their assumption is.
Have you looked at the was it the Grutch whistleblower or whatever?
Yeah, I know you guys are covering that tomorrow. I think that guy's like full of shit.
A lot of people do.
There's like
the alien guy.
There's a big like UFO psyop happening in like recent years. I don't really understand why, but like if you listen to like on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, Stephen Greer, who is a UFOologist, he's really good on this. And like he had an entire session in DC with a bunch of people, like a bunch of whistleblowers, like who like they've gotten threats to be killed, like and like jailed. Like these are like this is serious shit. Like and their instance with the UFOs is that basically like the deep state has like this alien technology and is like they're already re-engineering it and using it for human trafficking purposes and war.
Somebody said why is he going through
like I'll send the link too for that that DC meeting, that DC session, because like that's like really enlightening too. Stephen Greer.
Why is he whistleblowing through the right channels?
You should have him on or whatever, and I'm not interested.
It's all a lot of it is like psyop shit. Like everyone knows Project Bluebeam. I mean, it's confirmed at this point. I mean, like the UFO shit is so like it's like all right, what is it? Come on, you've been hiding this for 50 years. What's going on?
Yeah. And you're welcome for the link, guys. Please go check that out. The thing for Caitlin, it is fucking phenomenal. It makes me
I put the link to the Pasta interview earlier too.
Okay, good. Yeah, Pasta nailed it. Good job to Pasta. It was cool to watch him. He did a very good job of staying like polite and respectful, but also pushing.
He humanizes issues very well.
I like that he challenged Cornell on the fact that he distinguishes Trump and Biden between neoliberal and
we talked about that earlier.
Neoliberal and neo-fascist, which is like not a fair distinction at all. Because like I mean, I agree with Pasta with what he said. I mean, like, if you really put a gun to my head, like, I really think at this point Trump is sort of like it looks pretty enlightening right now. I mean, like, what was it?
There's at least an argument that could be made there for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't. Ultimately, it doesn't. And like we're all agreeing here. Even Pasta said this. Like, no one's voting for either of them. So like it's like a circular conversation. But either way, like to describe that, to make that distinction between milquetoast neoliberal and neo-fascist, to kind of like.
Well, and then when he went to describe,
it gives it like
Trump,
a nice palette. It puts it like on a nice plate for you, so that it's like not.
When he went to describe Trump, he like talks about all the things that Trump was doing, and it was very like, and Biden, like it's the exact. You could say the exact same thing about Biden. There is no difference. I say it all the time. The only difference between the two is the demographic that they pander to. That is the only difference. Is the demographic that they pander to.
Like
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Crime
people are
bill.
pretending as if there's a big difference between
because
Democrats and Republicans.
They think that they have to find the lesser of two evils.
I know, but there's not. They're all owned and operated by the exact same people.
Yeah.
They just pander to you differently.
I think Cornell doesn't want to get canceled by his like, semi like milquetoast liberal crowds.
Quit worrying about it.
Right. Yeah, I just
solve the problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Stop engaging with people. Stop like playing nice. Stop like even cut it off. Like these people are fucking. They're pulling down any
wasting
sort of
time
that's possible. They're literally hurting it. Like don't even engage.
Well, here's the thing, and people don't maybe know or remember this, but Chris Hedges was asked to run for president, and he said no. So how is it that Chris Hedges had the foresight not to, but he's supporting Cornell to do it? That in of itself seems a little weird to me, considering that they're both in academia, and you would think that Cornell would want to kind of steer clear away from that, or at least Chris being able to say to him, you know what, I understand the sentiment, but maybe you're not necessarily built for this or whatever, because I heard what you said, Misty, or before I came on, like Cornell's a theologian, and I know it because that's what I studied in college. The way he speaks were the kind of papers that I had to write, in college. So obviously you're going to be like, I love you. Everyone is equal. We're all
turn the other cheek, yada yada.
We're all beautiful.
He's too nice.
Of God and all that. Right? Exactly.
He's way too.
You're way too nice, and they're going to attack. Well, they already are, especially like the black contingent, who are being very sneaky about it in terms of, we respect him, but you're shit for running outside duopoly.
Yeah.
They're already starting to go against Dr. West. And Dr. West has to come out like a boxer. Like,
no,
you gotta start taking names, and you can't afford to be nice. And I know, like, calling everyone your brother and sister, that's kind of his shtick. That's fine, but like,
it's not.
You gotta
really,
be willing to call these people out too when it's needed. And if you can't do that effectively, then I'm sorry, I can't necessarily go for you, even though you're better in terms of running outside duopoly. But you got to come a little harder.
Chris Hedges was sort of asked about this, like by Bree at the worker strike back thing, and he did say that like where we should have like a focus as like mainly on labor as opposed to like electoralism. I mean, I think you're right, and I think this might be like perhaps like maybe a situation where Cornell agreed, and then he feels bad and doesn't want to tell, or doesn't want to.
It would be what
they're good friends. They're like Cornell and Hedges are very tight.
Yeah, they're friends. They've worked together. So without a doubt, Hedges is supporting his friend, and so I totally get that. And I will go for Dr. Metz more. And we don't really know, and I haven't really watched all of his interviews this week because I have a life to really hear what he's been saying. But if he's using his platform to elevate labor, or at minimum to kind of help people think of the idea of the possibility of voting outside of the duopoly, but using that as a way to kind of mobilize labor, that'll be one thing. I'll be all for that. But as far as I know, it doesn't sound like Cornell is speaking in that way.
Meanwhile, where's Labor at? What's Labor doing?
Supporting Biden.
Right.
Yes.
all for it. They're all for it.
The system is broken. Fix the system, please.
Nobody's talking about that though. Listen, y'all, these people aren't even really talking about election integrity. Like, I mean, a little bit here and there, but if you're running and you're not talking about election integrity like all the time, what's wrong with you? What is the point? I don't understand the point.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that this all seems, it's so unnecessary and stupid, and it doesn't mean anything. And again, people are like, oh yeah, but if Cornell runs and he, as you just said, if he talks about labor issues, okay, fine. Bernie did that too. It got us precisely dick. We got nowhere. Nowhere.
Yeah, it's the same
Elevating
thing.
the conversation does nothing. There's nothing.
It's Bernie's mitten wearing ass all over again.
Yes.
Like,
and I'm sorry, but even people in the space are kind of falling over Dr. West, and it's like, I can't look.
Or Kennedy, stop it! Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh, stop it with the Kennedy cities. You're just fucking Zionist.
Oh, I'm so over
Get the
it.
fuck out of here with the fucking Zionist bullshit.
I mean, I never understood why. And no offense, actually, no, all the offense in the world, but like, I don't understand why people are going. He's a Kennedy.
Yeah, RFK can.
Number one.
Yeah, he's a Kennedy.
He
He's a fucking
off.
Kennedy.
I really don't care. About
And he's running as a Democrat.
And
he also supports genocide.
He's like,
he wrote a book about Fauci, guys. He wrote a book about it.
He wrote a book about Fauci. Okay. That's fabulous. That's really going to help the people of Palestine. Genuinely. And you can't expect somebody to be good on everything. Listen, being good on opposing genocide is like the bare fucking minimum here. That's the bare fucking minimum.
And Iran.
So
he wants to bomb Iran too.
Yes. Y'all.
I didn't catch the bit on Pastas about Ukraine and Russia's. How does Cornell feel about that? Can someone enlighten me?
He wants peace, but Putin's a gangster.
Yeah, he
asked
him about the
got it.
That's a nutshell.
And then he called him a thug. Instead.
Yeah, not a thug, gangster. He said, I don't use the word thug, but he did call him a gangster. And listen, he's right. I mean, Putin is, he's a former spy. He's like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of a gangster. He's kind of a thug. Like I say it all the time. You cannot become a world leader. You cannot reach that level of power without being kind of a psychopath. Like you have to be willing to exploit the shit out of people. You have to be willing to be ruthless. You have to be willing to do some really terrible things to be in that position. So to his credit, that is actually true. However,
you can't make peace talks with Putin if you're sitting there calling him a gangster.
That's what I'm trying to say. If you're calling him a gangster, and if you're seeking the level of the presidency, you need to be able to enter into, that is how peace gets negotiated, is by sitting down and if you're going to sit down across from this man, having called him numerous times a gangster and talked about all these terrible things that he's done, meanwhile, while you're making excuses for the things that Joe Biden does and for the things that the United States, I mean, that's not a good starting position. That's terrible.
Meanwhile, Putin is actually trying to support African nations right now.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
you know,
well, I love how they're calling Putin a gangster, yet they which president do all the Democrats pretend they revere? What family was that? What were they doing during Prohibition? Like,
at least they give him something. Like all America gives is bombs.
Yeah, it's just
the only difference is like their imperialism is money versus bombs. Which one is better? Which one? Which one is the more imperial empire?
I'm just really tired.
Bombs or the one getting money? Let me figure.
I'm tired of Americans thinking that they can wag their finger at literally anybody. You need to take all the fucking seats. We are responsible for so much death, destruction, chaos, and pain in the world that we just genuinely need to shut the fuck up.
That's what I said. Like,
out of everybody else's business. Mind your own business. Take care of your own house first. Stop wagging your finger. The idea that they're trying to charge Vladimir Putin for war crimes. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. You are the
Right.
United States of America. You're responsible for what the entirety of what Putin has done in Ukraine over the course of the past year and whatever it's been is a Tuesday for us. It is a fucking week. It's a normal day. That's a fucking normal day for us. And you want to wag your finger at Vladimir Putin as if you're better or as if he's some, unconceivable evil. Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. The absolute American exceptionalism and hypocrisy that it takes. You should be ashamed of yourself. Sit down.
That's
Shut the fuck up.
Putin, she just needs to drop the nuke already. We deserve it. As a country, we are the most terroristic.
No, that ends life for
Yeah, that's
everybody
also
on Earth.
not good.
That's
that's
everybody on Earth. That's nothing to do with punishing, and that punishes everybody, not just the people responsible for the chaos, death, and destruction. I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't support
angles
it, where you can
criticize Putin. For instance, he's a World Economic Forum capitalist love child. You can say that, but it's instead we have to call him on his foreign policy, which if you look at it in a intellectually honest way, he had a gun to his head. What else were you going to do? What else are you going to do in that situation? So to call him again, it's sort of the same thing in Georgia and Afghanistan. It's us fucking with whatever. This is what happens when you put fucking military bases all over the world and operate military operations all over the world. Once you fuck with everyone, then you become number one enemy on the fucking planet.
And they start to come together. That's what's happening. That's what we're seeing right now.
That's what's
the people that we've been fucking with for decades are now like, hey, we have something in common. Let's come together. And we totally earn that 100%. And that's what we're terrified of right now. That's why everybody's freaking out a little bit. And we should be. We have been fucking with the globe for decades. We have been the unspeakable evil. There's nobody responsible for more bullshit than we are. Period. It's not even close. Not even.
But Misty, China monitors its people. They monitor their people.
They have mass surveillance in China.
Yeah, that's bad. I don't support mass surveillance. But really, you want to shake your finger at China? Do you know what? You have any idea what's happening to you in your own country right now? There's mass surveillance, motherfuckers. They are spying on you.
Article where they're since the Snowden articles came out and they can't just directly spy on you anymore. Now they just buy it from private companies. All your TikTok, all the fucking private
Mate
privacy and stuff. Yeah, everything you're signing off on, all your data, it's going to them and they're selling it and they can duplicate it, which means that they can give it to other countries. So everyone just knows you. Everyone knows they can see your screen. They can see they can know when even when it's disconnected and turned off. Yeah. They came out. There was another article where they caught this guy who had his daughter had some medical condition and he had pictures of her naked on his phone, and he got arrested by the FBI. But this phone was off and it was disconnected from iCloud and everything. So Mac OS is actively spying on everything on your computer, even if it's turned off.
Yep.
Of course they are.
Mate had his data almost taken, right?
Yes.
Ukraine decided. Yes.
Journalists. Yep. They are going and getting the information, all kinds of information, all of your data from journalists who are covering wars and conflicts in a way that does not meet up with establishment approved narratives. That is unbelievable. No, it's not. It's totally believable, but it's fucking crazy, and that everybody's just fine with it, y'all. This is
now it's the new norm. Now we saw it with Kit Clarenberg, we saw it with Fiorella, we saw it with now it's the new norm. Now you can just
Julian Assange, motherfuckers. This is what I've been screaming about. If you don't speak up for Julian Assange, this is what's going to happen, and this is exactly what's fucking happening.
Yeah, other countries they're using the same principle to charge journalists. Now it's just the entire world. Now that we do it, once America does it, that's the A-OK for the.
This opens up Pandora's box, y'all, and it's not just journalists. If you think that journalist is a very vague word, and they get to describe or they get to define what that means, so it comes for all of us. It comes for any of us. If you post something, if you blog something, if you tweet something, it doesn't matter. It can come for you too. It's not just about journalists. It is not. Journalist is very vague. Nobody can even define what a journalist is, and depending on who you speak to, Julian Assange is or isn't a journalist, however it helps your narrative. It's coming for everybody. This is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy what's happening right now. And I hate it. I hate being right about that kind of shit. I like being right usually. It's a fun time for me.
It's just we've been right for too long.
That's what gets you like first into this stuff, and then once you know too much, you want to go back. Like I don't want to know this anymore.
Once you know, you can't unknow though. There is no
you can't unknow, and that's the problem. Like I can't get it out of my head. Like please, like just I don't want all this information anymore.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, optimism of the will. Pedro Gonzalez. I had Dan Cohen on my show. We talked about that on my show like a couple weeks ago, maybe. He has been in jail for over a year without charges. That's a big one. Pay attention to that one, please. That's not getting any coverage. I want to do like a more like it's hard for me to do like in-depth coverage on a 1 hour live radio show. I'm learning. So that's more of like you have to get kind of fully fleshed out, and it's a little bit hard to do when you have ad breaks to worry about. So but yeah, that's a big one. Pay attention to that one too.
Yep. You have some great shows this week.
I do. What do I have coming up? Hold on, let me look. So I can tell you guys. Okay, so I have okay, so I have Lori Spencer on Monday. I have Michael Sainsbury, who is a journalist who's been covering the Dan Duggan case in Australia. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to that. It's not getting a lot of coverage here, but he is former military being held without charge on America for supposedly training Chinese pilots or some bullshit. And he's also being held because America says so. So I don't think we have anybody for Wednesday yet. Halo, my friend Halo Benson is on Thursday. She's somebody I've been organizing with on Assange stuff for a very long time. And then Primo, I'm very excited. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got Jimmy on Sunday, I think.
Yeah. I'm super pumped to have Primo on the show. That'll be a good time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Scott Horton coming up. I just now am learning that.
Nice.
I love me some Scott Horton, guys.
Yeah.
He's like one of our best anti-war voices currently, I think, in my opinion, right now.
Yep.
Dude's like a fucking encyclopedia. I just had Connor Freeman on yesterday. That was he's like a little baby Scott Horton.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's taller than Scott Horton, but I mean, you know what I mean? He's like a younger, he's going to be like Scott Horton 2.0, like wicked smart, encyclopedia brain, like the ability to recall facts and information. Yeah, it was fun. He's a good one.
Apparently, Kit might also have Jimmy on Sunday.
On Afghanistan, or he at least like appeared on it. It's called like Taxi to the Dark Side. But Scott Horton, he has a couple good books. He's a good like intellectual thing. That's why I respect libertarians, because like they're able to have like intellectual thought and have like a conversation. As opposed to liberals,
it just starts
like,
from
they've totally accepted me. I mean, that we disagree on a lot of things, but they've totally like we're friends. Like we have good relationships. We talk all the time. We go on each other's shows. We work on the things where we agree. We disagree and make fun of each other when we don't. You know what I mean? Like we give each other shit.
Liberals are so hostile. They want to like fucking rip your face off as soon as you say like one criticism. It's like.
Liberals are, I mean, I can work with anybody, and I will work with anybody. If a liberal approached me and wanted to work with me to free Julian Assange, which is something that's never going to happen. But if that happened, okay, absolutely. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, welcome to the club. Of course. Like, I would never turn away anybody, literally anybody. But they are very hostile, and they are very delusional. I mean, I know that's harsh, but they're just, they just do not understand. They don't get it. It's hard to talk to them. It is like it tests my patience on a whole other level. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I try. I advocate for working with people and talking to people that you disagree with, and I try. It just does not usually go well. I just don't have a lot of patience for it.
It's
hard.
It's the people, the worst ones are the people who haven't been paying attention.
That's liberals. You just described as liberals.
Yeah. I mean, it's just depending on how long they've been.
Like, they're being fed like active disinformation.
Yeah.
They're highly propagandized. That's a nicer way to put it. That's better.
Yeah.
They're highly propagandized.
Like, when we had the communist revolution, like we literally need re-education camps. I'm not kidding. Like we're gonna need to like.
I am against re-education
somehow. Like we need some.
Yeah, I mean they don't sound great.
No,
it doesn't sound great. But I'm just saying, like, we need some like peaceful re-education.
No,
Okay. Sorry.
Absolutely not. I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with putting people in camps.
With the
camps are not the.
This
I
is.
mean,
This is
if we're
why
gonna roast marshmallows, like that sounds fun.
I'm
you know.
anti-authoritarianism in whatever form that it comes. I don't give a fuck, and that is authoritarianism, and I'm not interested in any way.
I mean, I'm joking. I'm making a joke.
I know.
George Takei would like to talk to you about camps.
No,
just
fuck
not
George
on anything
Takei,
else.
but yeah, no camps.
I know. Yeah, not on anything else. He doesn't like camps, but everything else, terrible.
Yeah, I agree with him on the camps. We can find a point of agreement there for sure. For sure.
Maybe take a happy camp.
He sucks.
Anything else? What else we got
look.
this week?
Let me look because I need to do a better job. Would you guys like it? Do you like the free flow thing? Because I'm open. This show is for you guys as much as it is for me. More for me, but
I like the bullshitting. Just
is the free flow cool with everybody, or should I come with like a bitch list where like I have like my top 5 things that piss me off and we can go through those, or I'm open to whatever.
I think a little bit of that is useful.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think like having just like a little bit, like a couple bullets, and then just like riffing off of that. Fine.
Yeah, I can do that. I can come with like my top 5 things that piss me off for the week or whatever. Narrowing it down to 5 is going to be
Misty making lists. God, who would think she would do something like that? I'm glad you do, because I hate doing it.
No,
even though I need to do it.
I don't like.
I know.
I have a love
that's what I have Care Bear for.
I have a love-hate with lists. Like, I like lists. They help me feel organized, but I very often forget my list. Like, if I make a grocery list, guaranteed I'm going to the store and it's still at home. I'm good at that. Even if I have my list, I will 100% forget at least one thing.
Yeah, we can just ignore the list. What do you mean?
Yes. My kids make fun of me all the time. This is a running joke in my family that I cannot go to the store without forgetting at least one thing, and that's a good day. So, yes, I'm self-aware, painfully self-aware, self-aware. Okay. Is there anything else that we wanted to bitch about? I don't think so.
Greg, you had something you wanted to bitch about that you mentioned.
It was the Cornell West thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely covered that.
Yeah. And I'm so tired. Honestly, I'm so fucking tired of talking about candidates. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. I have to pay attention because of my job, but I don't care. I do not give a fuck.
Feds
right now.
Yeah, that's.
You know what they did
I love
today?
how they all complained about Elon Musk, but yet
John Oliver. It was just sexy pictures of John Oliver, the entire front page today, because the blackouts didn't work. Then they tried. They tried uploading 1 gigabyte files of just noise to fuck up their bandwidth, and it actually worked a little bit.
So for those who don't know, essentially Reddit is
this is like this is what happens when you fuck with the internet. Like you just like
So Spez, CEO of Reddit, decided that they're going to make people pay for API. So essentially killing all third-party apps for the platform. None of those apps can essentially pay that price. Essentially same thing Twitter did, right? Or is trying to do, so that places like Substack and things like that couldn't use its API effectively. Which all the liberals got upset at, but Spez, they seem to be okay and don't mind. But Reddit's been in uproar about that.
Spam and bots too, because like you need that API in order to get access for things like cleaning up like random like porn advertisements and like dick pills and shit like that. Like you're gonna get that unless like you have that API access in order to install bots that are gonna clean up that shit for you, because like these are people that are working for free. Like they're not getting paid. They're moderating these entire communities.
Yeah, they're all volunteers.
Yeah.
So Gateway Pundit, feds quietly dropped 5 charges against SBF in multi-billion-dollar FTX scam, including allegations he blamed Chinese SBF. SBF is the Democratic Party's second largest donor, right? So those are going away. All his charges are being dropped. Old crypto scam guy.
He like donates to Democrats more because like he donates to Republicans. When he donates to Republicans, you get like more backlash. I think that's like really telling.
Who are we talking to? Who are we talking about?
FTX
guy. Sam Bankman Fried, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're dropping all the charges against him.
Shocking.
At least 5 of them.
So I feel like it's definitely we definitely understand, at least the deep state definitely understands that Democrats are more, publicly favorable option, or at least like culturally, that's where people tend to sway. And you normally get shamed if you're involved with any sort of Republican candidate.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
that's because cancel culture is a very liberal thing.
Yeah,
but it's incredible. I mean, that's like why you see like Bill Gates and like the WEF like kind of like taking control of like whatever like the liberal narrative is, because it's more easier to sway. Like I just find that interesting. Like how come Republicans like aren't as propagandized as liberals? Like how come they can?
They are just differently.
Yeah, I know they are, but like they're more like distracted than they are like, you know what I mean? Like they're more like they're like, the problem with the Republicans is that they're focused on culture issues and they're like terrible in economics.
Well, I think that there's that could be said about liberals too. I think that they're just different people are focused on different things, and I think the culture war thing is being shoved down people's throats very intentionally. And I think a lot of people are falling for that across the board. It doesn't matter Democrat, Republican. I think a lot of people are falling into that bullshit. But
it does matter, because like if you're running as a Republican, then you're getting like publicly like shamed, and you're getting a lot of flack
sometimes, unless you're in an area where you're not.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about Democrats too. Like it goes both ways. That's my point. It's not just one side or the other. I think it goes both ways on that, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
On a national level, I'm saying.
But Misty, you had more on the list, you said?
No, I was just gonna talk about there's a I was gonna, but I wanna just, if you're in Ireland, fight against your stupid free speech law that you got going on right now, that wants to criminalize jokes, and if it makes somebody uncomfortable.
What?
What the fuck is happening? Yeah, there's a law,
that California law where if you misgender your child,
Claire Daly fucking rant and like 3, 2, like
yes.
That's going to be good. Yes. I can't wait for that.
Claire Daly, Mick Wallace. Yeah, that's going to be a good time. Yeah, but I mean, this bill is ridiculous. I mean, a lot of it is about the transgender issue. And if people say something that makes somebody uncomfortable, then that should be labeled as hate speech. And y'all, come on, this is just ridiculous. And if this, I don't think it'll pass. I think that this is just an obvious escalation of the attacks on free speech we've seen happening for a long time. This is just going to keep happening. I keep saying it. It's just going to keep happening. And it is just going to, I mean, here it is. But this is we're going to see this. There's going to be, we've had similar stuff in the United States. That's going to continue. Shit like this is out of fucking control. It's out of control. They already
passed a bill in Mississippi where like it's basically like a trans, like a preteen trans sanctuary state, where you're basically like your kid can run off to Mississippi, go get top surgery, and then you can't do anything about it. You can't say anything. You have no say whatsoever. If they're under 18,
I would have to see that
under 18.
Yeah, I would have to see that.
You can't.
Especially in Mississippi. As a person who was birthed in Mississippi, I'm gonna tell you shouldn't go to Mississippi. Like you just shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like at all in any capacity, you know.
Yeah, this whole issue is so, and you know what pisses me off about this issue? And here I'm inviting all kinds of hate upon my life, and I really just don't care. I'm so tired. But the whole there's no nuance. You're not even allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to have any difference of opinion. You're not allowed to question the
they're blaming it on autism now, which is nice.
I know. I have a kid with autism. I know. That's my favorite thing is when they start to blame the autism. So it makes me angry that like we can't just have rational conversations, and that questioning the rationality of having kids make life altering decisions that you can't go back. come on, really? But I'm transphobic if I say that. That's a thing now.
Yeah.
I'm transphobic.
How dare you?
I'm not transphobic. That's a reasonable question. That is a reasonable conversation that we need to be having. If that is a wise thing to be allowing 13, 14, 15,
How dare you,
16-year-olds
Misty?
to be making. No, that's
So inconsiderate.
I'm such a bigot.
I just saw you didn't get the jab.
Ugh. Fuck off.
You're not jabbed?
No.
Wow.
Lucky
No,
you.
of course not.
I wish I could go back and redo it.
No,
and
I'm
not
jabbed.
No,
I don't mean to laugh. Like, I'm not laughing at you.
I want to get the Pfizer juice out of me. I don't know what to do.
I don't think you can.
Wait, Reef, did you get
I don't think you can. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I did not.
I think all of us after 2 were like, "Nah, we're good."
So, Misty, what gave you the insight at the time? Like, what made there was all this pressure. I remember in 2020. Like, I did it because I had to go travel to Europe.
I didn't have to, and I didn't. I don't have to.
Right.
I didn't have to do it for work.
But what gave you that insight?
I didn't have any of that pressure.
Like, what was like at the time? Like, what were you
obvious rushed bullshit?
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna force it. First of all, anytime something is forced upon me, I immediately am like, no. Nuh-uh.
They had the SNL commercials where we're like, we love Fauci.
Yeah. No, all of that stuff. Yeah. Like I was already immediately skeptical. I was skeptical anything COVID period at this point. So I was already, but then like the rush nature of it. Listen, I have a kid with autism. I've had to deal with the whole vaccines cause autism and all of that stuff. And so I spent a long time in that fight. I know a thing or two about vaccines and about the vaccine debate. And so I was, and I'm pro-vaccine. Like, I think vaccines have, do I think that they should be made safer and that more effective and we should continue to study them?
But Misty, they are safe and effective.
No, but
I've been told.
No, they're very safe and effective. The vaccine,
generally speaking, I think that they are. I think that people are, there's always going to be a potential for adverse reactions.
YouTube is safe and effective. Don't worry about it.
We love vaccines here. No hate. No vaccine hate.
YouTube. Yeah. So I mean, listen, I am not okay with forced injections ever. And the idea that it was I'm very hypersensitive to obvious propaganda, and it was very obvious propaganda, the way that it was being shoved down our throats. And I just was not interested whatsoever. And again, anytime you tell me I have to do something, I'm going to probably tell you to fuck off.
Well, given that how the Democrats went just when Trump was in office, were like, no, I'm not going to take it. But then the moment Biden got into office, then it was okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was a huge flip-flop, right? Like, there's that whole montage of them all freaking out. Like, I would never take the Trump vaccine. And as soon as Biden got into office, it was a completely different story. Suddenly it was fine.
Take it now.
Yeah.
Take it now.
Get 74 of them. Go. Get, just line up. No. Yeah, I'm a naturally skeptical person. And to me, and this is I don't mean this to be like condescending to anybody. To me, it was obvious. It was obvious we were being lied to, and I was not interested in a forcible injection of bullshit. Thank you. No.
Yep.
No, thanks. I'll pass. Sorry.
But Misty, your body, your choice.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
Yeah. I mean, forced medical procedures of any kind,
is a no for me. That's a no for me. Thank you.
Like
I will pass every time.
All those people that Joe Biden deports with missing, just free hysterectomies that they were given.
Yeah.
I'm
a big no on forced anything, really. Mandated anything is, I think, fucked up. I'm a big choice person. I'm a big free choice person. You don't get to tell other people how to live their lives, what they have to do, especially medical procedures. No. And listen, I know, like Jax, I know you regret it, and I know lots of people regret it, and so I genuinely don't mean to be condescending when I say that, like, me, it was obvious.
Yeah, I think
I get it.
Yeah, for anyone like me who
Yeah.
had to do it in terms of your job, otherwise you could have been kicked out of your
Or
job.
even if you were just scared. Like, I get
Right.
it. The
Right.
propaganda game in this country
on.
is intense. It is very strong. People, I fall for, like, there's stuff I've fallen for. Like, we're all susceptible to it. So you shouldn't
Come
feel
on.
bad. You don't need to, like, make an excuse or a justification or it's
Right.
like, I totally understand.
No.
I think that we all just need to learn from that.
Right.
And
What we're mad at is the system under which
that choice was forced upon you.
we had to make that choice.
Yes.
Well, actually, it
That's never
wasn't a
okay.
choice at all. So
Yeah.
that wasn't okay.
No, that's never okay. And I am genuinely angry that anybody was put in that position to feel like they didn't have a choice or they had to do it to keep their job or they had to whatever. That fucking sucks. That makes me really angry. I think people should be held responsible for that bullshit, for lying to people and for forcing that upon people. That is horrendous to me. And I am genuinely sorry that anybody had to go through that, honestly.
Yep.
And I really hope that I don't come across as condescending on that. I don't.
No.
I understand and sympathize completely. I know how propaganda works. And listen, fear is a very powerful manipulator. So even if you fell for it and you bought into it and you bought into the lockdowns and I don't hate you for it. I totally get it. But now that I think that the shame is in recognizing that and then like doubling down. You know what I mean? Don't be that guy. Learn from it, move on. Admit it. Just admit it. I fucked up. I fell for it. Learn from it, move on. Don't double down. It's not
we have to look forward to the mandated brain chips. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, and because this was just a trial run for other things to come, obviously, and they have learned how to better prepare themselves for next time. And there will be a next time, and so we need to get really good at recognizing those scaremongering tactics and the propaganda and learn how to fight better next time. Please and thank you, because it's coming. That's coming.
What are you doing?
100%. I have like 74 cats surrounding me right now, and I'm a little nervous.
74.
Not really. That's
at least terrifying.
3. There's 3, and I feel like
just
there's
have the
another
one to
over
deal
there
with, and that's enough.
There's somebody else is over there because Daryl's freaking out. Hi, Daryl. Buddy.
Daryl. I like how you have cat voice too.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Everybody has cat voice. If you have cats, you have cat voice. Yeah. Ridiculous. How do I feel about long COVID? I think long COVID sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. I think that it would be cool if they would have allowed for okay, I can't talk. We're on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
They should have allowed for alternative treatments. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Can I
yes,
say that?
you are.
YouTube?
They should have.
I'm a grown up. I'm asking
More of
permission.
a basis for universal health care.
Yes.
Would have been nice.
Well, I mean, listen, the whole universal healthcare thing, that's a whole other conversation because I think that the COVID experience has shown a lot of people that government run healthcare is not a great plan. I don't want those motherfuckers in charge. Those are the people who are trying to mandate I get injections. So and as I've always said, though, in my support for universal healthcare, I think we need to be very careful about what that looks like. What whatever, however that is.
I think it's the same thing that we talk about as far as unions.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of unions, here's Indy. Hi, Indy.
Hi, Andy.
What's up, Indy?
What happened? Everything froze.
Oh, I don't know.
There
You
goes
clicked
Andy.
the button. He just clicked it, I think.
He says, "What happened?"
It froze. Everything froze.
You froze.
Hi. What's up, everybody? Hold on. Let me turn on my. There we go. What's up, everybody?
What?
Oh man,
I get to play with the tail. You are not allowed to not let me play with the tail.
Oh my
That's
god,
not
my
how
cats.
this works.
Everybody can fuck off. That's my bitch right now. Everybody can fuck off, including my kids. I love you all, but you can all fuck off.
Indy had to tell a kid the other day, and it was just hilarious. He's like, "I love you. I don't always like you."
I said that to a 7-year-old. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's so true. It is so true. So
hilarious.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
It's been a week. It's been
Isn't
a month.
it always?
It's been a year. Yes.
But Indy, think about it. Tomorrow they get to celebrate you. Right?
Yeah.
And I get to, sure, they get to fight with each other on a day that they call Father's Day. That's right.
Nothing changes. I mean, at least I can't speak as a father, but as a mother, Mother's Day is, and especially in my house, my husband works every Mother's Day. Like Mother's Day's a big day for him. So there's no mother, I get the same day. It's just another, yay. I might get a card. Like,
well, we're supposed to go have crawfish like we did for my birthday. So hopefully I'll go eat crawfish. That'd be awesome.
Oh, goodness.
That's like, and get to see my dad, who, by the way, you were talking about the jab. That's the reason why I have the jab, is that 3 years ago for Father's Day, he is a big pharma simp. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It was 21. Big pharma simp. Absolutely go jab me harder daddy. Own shares of Pfizer and all these different stuff, but insisted on every jab. He's, immunocompromised, but he's seen what drugs have done for people in extending lives and everything else, and he hasn't figured out or doesn't necessarily think that there is a nefarious element to the profit motive, the massive hundreds of billions of dollars that have been achieved in profit. Yeah. There's no motive to shut out any potential alternatives, any to hide and bury the studies that have been showing the myocarditis and all the wonderful things that have it just makes your heart swell with pride about the way things are happening.
Oh God, he's one of those. All right.
So yeah, it's so happy Father's Day to everyone who's out there and celebrating, because you guys earn it. It's a pain in the ass job that at times it's very rewarding, but it's thankless.
Happy Juneteenth. Oh, can I bitch about Juneteenth for a second?
Sure.
Please.
I mean, I'm lucky that I have off given my job, but all black people should have off. And yeah, I know you talked about this with me 2 years ago, because you're like, as a Jew, like, well, you have personal days. Like, if you have a Jewish holiday, you can take a day off for. Black people, if you are working, should not have off. Should have off.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's no reason why Target and all these other places where people of color, and speaking for black people, should be working anyway, even though they might get time and a half or double time. It's a black holiday. We should have off. Every black person should have off. So I think it's kind of bullshit that. And you notice how they made Juneteenth a thing, and there was no
best we can do is Nancy Pelosi and Kente clock. That's the best we can do.
To me, something is up.
Wait.
Republicans, there was no opposition against, when I think it was when Biden made the executive order, basically being like, "Oh, Juneteenth is now a national holiday." No opposition against that. So that's the lobbyists and the capitalists basically plotting to make it a thing. But yeah, as I said, all black people should have off on Juneteenth. There's no reason why any black person should be working on Juneteenth.
I'm cool with giving lots of people days. Like, I'm all for all the days off.
Paid days off would be nice, wouldn't it?
Right.
Like the rest of the world gets.
Absolutely.
I take no days off from this, by the way. So
that's because you're insane.
Indy takes no minutes off.
I take no days off. 0 seconds off. I tried.
But
I try so hard.
This is what I do I do this shit for fun. Like, this is not my work. Like, I have a job.
Yeah.
But I
think his idea of fun is also very,
well, it's gotten warped over time.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah, you do spreadsheets and Substack posts for fun. Like, I honestly, I'm just here to tell you guys, there is absolutely no way I could do what I do without Indy. There is absolutely no way. The Substack and the booking, like, he has been I'm an atheist, but he has been a godsend. Like, seriously. So much easier. It is so much easier. And he takes care of all the booking. He organizes everything. He does the Substack. I don't have to worry about it. I can just prep for the show, research what I need to research, show up, and do the thing. That's all.
Thank you. That's what a producer does. You've needed a producer, and I've said that for a long time. You need help, and now you have one. So
people have no idea. People have no idea how much work goes into even a show like this, where we're just messing around.
And people get angry when they're like, "Oh, you're a grifter. You're trying to make money." First of all, like, and I say this to Indy, and I said this to you this morning. Like, this is like doing even INN News, so it's like once a week. It's like a full-time job on top of the job that I have to do to pay the bills, and I get no compensation for it whatsoever.
I get grief. Ask my wife.
I
get paid in grief.
And stress.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Remember when you used to have to do a 2-hour show a day, Misty? Do you remember that?
I did three, homie.
Three bookings a day. Three bookings a day. I was helping her then.
Yeah, I was doing that mostly on my own, though. Like that.
Mostly, I was just helping a little.
Took over. He would jump in every now and then, but that's honestly, you guys remember when I quit? Like, just suddenly was just like, fuck you guys, I'm going home. Yeah, I was done. I hit a wall with the Assange stuff, and I had never done radio before. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I had never done radio before, and they're like, hey, you want 3 hours live every day? And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll sign up for that. And by the way, you have to book it yourself, and you have to do all the things yourself, and you have to, okay, sure, yeah, I'll do that. What the fuck was I thinking? And then trying to organize for Assange and do it and being a mom and all the other shit that I'm doing. And then I had like, 7 people in my life die within like 2 months. You know what I mean? I was just done. I was fucking cooked. I was over it. I was done. 1 hour a day, so much easier. So much easier. It's so nice. 3 hours was fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of glad that was my introduction to radio, because like, y'all, they just threw me in, not even the deep end. They threw me in the ocean when we're like, have fun. Good luck. You know what I mean? I'm kind of glad though, because I mean, I had no choice but to figure it the fuck out. So I did. I just
I think if they just had you have one guest a show for the 3 hours, you probably would have been fine. Although talking for the other, maybe a co-host. Look, some of TNT shows have co-hosts.
I don't. I've been offered that. I don't want it. No offense.
No. Okay.
I don't want it.
No, that's okay. No, but 3 hours is a lot of time to carry by yourself. Yeah. 3 guests is a lot to book every day.
Book and then research and prep for, and the booking though. That was honestly that's the worst. That's the worst.
One guest a day is hard.
Yes.
The worst one is when you get the guest who like literally says nothing.
Oh.
Who it's like one word answers, and like you're the one that's trying to hold this whole thing together. You're like,
I can tell you that my favorite guests in the whole wide world are people who just get it. Like, they understand the timing, they understand how radio works, they understand ad breaks, they understand flow, and they know what they're doing. They come in, they know what they're here to talk about, they know what points they want to get, and I barely have to do anything. I can just open-ended question, let them talk. I love that. When it works, it's magic. It feels good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's just clicking. And then there are other
stuff
times
is
where
done
it's like,
before it's even started. You're like, what happened? Do we do it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And
listen, I haven't even been doing this that long. Like, somebody in the chat was like, when I started TNT the first time, which I don't even remember when it was like March or something.
A little over a year ago, right?
That was the first time I'd ever done radio, and I was doing 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 3 different guests, had to book it all myself. That was like, I mean, that was the boot camp. Like, here you go, figure it out. And I just had to figure it out. And I'm kind of glad. It was very stressful. But I'm kind of glad, because I really didn't have a choice other than to just figure it out. So I did. I just figured it out. And it's fun now. Like, I love my job. I love doing it. I've always wanted to be in radio. I think I've told this story before. When I was in high school, that was like my plan. I wanted to go to the Ohio Center for Broadcasting. I wanted to be on radio. I interned at CD 101, and I was a guest DJ one time, and all of that stuff. Like, I was really, that's what I wanted to do. And then radio kind of died. So that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
And now here I am all these years later, hosting a radio show. So there you have it.
Well, I wanted to be in media. I was in like AV in high school, and I always kind of wanted to do media, but at the same time, I didn't want to ever really make it my job. I studied journalism too, Team Orca, but I literally quit on my first day of journalism school when they asked for deadlines, and I'm like, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to do it my way, and then I fell into doing this after watching MSNBC, then TYT, and getting angry at the couch and watching Jimmy and being inspired to just stop sitting on the couch and yelling at my TV and just do this shit and make YouTube.
Now we yell at you people.
Get in chat and now and now you guys yell at me. So that's fun.
Cynic, thank you. Cynic said, I have impeccable timing. That means a lot to me, and that's something that my producer tells me on a nearly daily basis.
Yeah, you're like,
he's like, are you sure you haven't ever done radio before? Your timing's really good. And I'm
it's
like,
really good. Like, you also like pass the baton very well. You're like, okay, your turn to talk. And I'm like, all right, like,
well, my goal is always like, I honestly, my goal is to not talk. Like, I don't want to talk that much. My goal is to let my guests speak. Sometimes like when I have you guys on, it's a little bit different because we have like a personal banter already. So it's like, we fire each other up, and that's a little bit different. Like, but when I'm interviewing somebody or when it's, somebody that I'm like actually speaking to about a specific topic, it's a little bit different. And I honestly don't want to talk at all. I just want to like ask an open-ended question about whatever the thing is that you're here to talk about, and then just let you talk about the thing. And wherever I can poke and prod to like get more information or whatever, fine. But mostly I just want my guests to be able to do the thing that they're there for. I love going on fault lines, y'all. I love me some fault lines. They're so good to me.
I think they even had Indy on early. It was one of the first people that had Indy on,
actually Jamal had me on my first interview I ever really did was he and I did a Zoom call or a Skype call on my birthday, with no less. It was crazy 2 years ago. And that was my introduction. That was aired on Fault Lines. And then as it turns out, he was recording the whole time, and we spilled some tea, and I'm like, dude, I wish I had the other half of that interview because he spilled tea. That disappeared forever. It fell into the archives somewhere. He never even. He wouldn't send it to me because it was so spicy.
Optimism. That's optimism. Thank you for saying that. Like he said the entire Fault Lines chat erupts and cheers. Like that's what they tell me. I'm really terrible about the chat stuff and like remember to log on and like look
on Rumble.
So, that's
chat
what
flips
they
out
tell
when
me.
You get there.
They said that I'm like one of the favorite guests that they have on, which is super nice. I don't know why. I just go on there and rant. I have fun. So that's cool.
That's you get 15 minutes to just kind of
for people.
Spew. Yeah.
Well, and Malik loves me because it's many times they've had me on to talk about a thing, and then we don't even talk about that thing. And he's like, I love it because we can shift and go to something else, and and I'm like, that's because I have ADHD.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about very many things, but I know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yes.
You know
if you keep us switching topics, we're great.
Yep.
Yeah, like
I have my hyperfixation, which is Julian Assange, press freedom, that kind of thing. But I know lots about or I know a little bit about a lot of things. Yes. Like
Matt,
I
what
kind
is
of
it?
have feelers into everything. Whether it's
Mild
labor
interest,
or foreign policy,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I just kind of I can have a conversation. I can do a radio spot about almost anything and hold my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like that they can just shift, which is good. I love them. Genuinely, I love the guys at Fault Lines. They are really good to me. They're very kind. They have me on all the time. They're very flexible with me. It's one of my favorite places to go and like do a spot.
Well, we've got Beauty and the Boomer after us, I think. Go check out Romedi and Oz and them.
Oh, are they going live at 10?
I think.
Your output show. Hey.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Guys.
It has the StreamYard problem of when I click a comment, it like moves and then the comment below it comes up. Remember when StreamYard used to have that issue? Like I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
even when you scroll up, it still moves on you. Yep.
Yeah. Tomorrow, how do we miss that? I think. Are we doing one?
Oh yeah.
Or are you gonna take Father's Day off like a normal person?
I was gonna take Father's Day off, but no.
Take Father's Day off, motherfucker.
No, we're doing a show.
Take Father's Day off.
I have a show.
I'll do the show for you. I'll do the show with you.
You want to do the show? Well, we're doing an East Palestine story. We're also going to talk about. We're also going to update you on Ukraine and all the crap they're doing in the UK.
Okay.
Crap, suspended for balanced news and UK figures warning about.
He's more than willing to drag you into this, Misty. I would not let him run with that if you want a day off as well.
We're also going to read. Well, we're going to start out reading Dontel's article about the aliens.
We don't get holidays in this house.
I know.
Dontel's article about the aliens was actually really good at unapologetic.substack.com. I was reading it and I was like,
I love that guy.
He's great.
I haven't read it.
We love Dontel.
Yeah, I love Dontel.
It's actually, well, you know what? Most people are like, it's a psyop, it's pathetic, he's fake. He's like, well, maybe, except there's a lot of smoke there. Can there really literally be nothing? Like, I don't know. He's dropping some names like Daniel Hale and Edward Snowden. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm going that far with this guy, but he's like, look, this guy went through official channels. He did file stuff. We're going to see what he had to say. It's just a matter of when. Well,
yeah,
I think it's an issue.
That's why I want to have the conversation. And that Reef and I and Oz had a discussion about it for him. I'm like, that's perfect for the show. We're going to do this one because it actually is more conversational than just reading an article, which is what we tend to do more than anything. Than and I'll throw little quips in, but I want to have more conversation. Anyway, so
what do you got? What do you got coming up, Misty? You already went kind of through your week, but anything else you wanted to?
I mean, I'll probably be on Fault Lines at some point during the week.
Yeah.
It's been like a once a week kind of a thing. I was just on Iverson. Apparently I blinked a lot during that interview. I'm sorry, guys. I have what's that called? Chronic dry eye stuff. And I get itchy eyes a lot. So that happens. But what else did I do? Do I have anything else coming up? Oh, you asked earlier about the Assange actions. There's a lot of shit going down for his birthday, which is July 3rd. I think Assange's defense is doing something. I had to take a little bit of a step back after the last action with all of the drama and chaos. I was a little stressed out and over it, and honestly just over it. I'm not going to go there.
I just know that Annie Chambers needs like a thing on the front of her little scoot.
Yeah.
So she can
just push
people out the way.
She asked me, and I keep forgetting to do that. So I need to get her an Assange shirt.
Halo Benson is doing some organizing right now, and she's collecting a list of supporters to reach out to.
No, Halo and I are working on some stuff behind the scenes.
Cool.
Quietly. I'm not going to say much more, but we're going to have, if anybody is interested in working with us on more like activist focused directed kind of stuff for Assange, we are going to hold an organizing session. We were going to do it this weekend, but with Father's Day, I don't think it's going to work. So we'll probably do it next weekend. But Halo and I are working. We have some things. I mean, we have some things there. I don't want to go too far into detail, but there's things coming up. I'll say that. Pretty big thing. So, but his birthday is July 3rd. So if you are going to like your local fireworks or parades or whatever, all that bullshit, consider taking some Assange flyers or pamphlets or wear an Assange shirt or hang up some yellow ribbons or whatever you can do it, do the thing. Also make, you can do the whole phone call thing. I have that. I think that's my pinned tweet right now. We need elevated pressure. God, he's so fucking close to being extradited, you guys. It's like any minute it could happen. And we're so fucked. God damn it.
And
we're losing.
Like they said, they're gonna probably do it overnight, not in plain sight, and we're gonna find out that he's already here in Supermax.
Yeah.
Well, he'll first go to the detention center in Eastern in Alexandria. He'll go to the same detention center that Chelsea Manning was held in, but pre-trial.
Right.
That's the pre-trial detention center. So that's where he will be held. There's also one in New York. I think most likely he will go to the one in Alexandria. So that will be the initial point of, but then he'll have his little show trial, his little kangaroo court bullshit where he can't even present a
military tribunal where no one can see it.
Essentially just the formality of him being convicted and then thrown into a hole somewhere. So yes. And they will there will be no announcement. They will do it overnight. They will do it very quietly. And it'll just be like, we'll all wake up one day and it'll be like a real quick headline, like, oh, Julian Assange has been extradited. And we're desperately close to that, unfortunately.
Shout out and love for Tara Reid. Also, love you, Tara. I don't know if you guys talked about her today.
No.
But she's stuck over there, and we don't know what's going to happen. It looks like she's basically going to have to set up, shop. But
shout out to Fee giving her a hand over there.
Yeah,
she left her cats. She didn't bring contact lenses, guys. Like if she was really, like people are still saying, she had intent to do this. If she did, she wouldn't have done it the way she did. I'll tell you right now. It doesn't make any sense. So, American Tradition Tuesday night with Jesse. We're gonna do, I think, another Seuss night. We'll see. So I'm so psyched for that.
We need to get Jesse on a bitch here one of these days.
Yes, Natalie just brought up a good point. There are the banner drops. You can contact Assange Defense and they'll send you a banner if you want to participate in the banner drop. But also the birthday card thing, go to writejulian.com to get all of the specifications for what you can and cannot send to Belmarsh. I just talked to Gabriel, made sure to ask that question because I know a lot of people write to Julian and I wanted to be sure that he's actually getting his mail. And apparently he is, or a lot of it does get refused for various different, they're assholes about it. So make sure you follow the rules very implicitly that are on writejulian.com. Make sure you follow that. I do know that he loves to hear if you're doing something, if you're holding an event or an action or whatever. He likes to hear about that kind of stuff because I think it just helps him to know that there are people who are
no files and cakes
stuff. Yeah, no files. I guess somebody tried to send chocolate. Don't send chocolate. I mean, it's a nice thought, but it's not going to work. They're very, very strict. So yeah, but definitely write to him. I think that really, and Daniel Hale too. Please don't forget Daniel Hale.
Yes. Yeah. Chase with family. I'll just say, I don't think we should say who, for safety's sake, but
safeties.
Tara's cat is cared for and her horse as well.
That's good.
But
yeah, and all the other
fuck the U.S.
political
government
prisoners.
for that shit.
I mean, fuck the U.S. government for lots of things.
Yeah, for so many
for lots of things. Amen.
Yes. Where is Jesse Jet? Jesse, I haven't talked to Jesse in ages.
I can tell you what he's doing. He's dying on Da Bomb Insanity hot sauce and drooling like a madman because he decided to get the hottest hot sauce you could. The stuff tastes like straight ass.
And he's looking at the INN raccoon and her family, which is the most adorable goddamn thing ever. Greg, shout out to Greg for making that picture.
Mason and Mosey.
I don't know if you put up the Mason and Mosey. Yes, they have names, and yes, adorbs. Greg put a gray hat with an INN logo on. I think that's Mason. I don't even know which one's which. Jesse Jet is definitely a
Mosey's
grifter and a half.
Jesse Jet, the grifter.
The grifter. That grifter. Yep. He's totally a grifter.
He's such a grifter.
He's been called. Actually,
he's making millions on Bandcamp.
He was at a wedding today.
Oh, yeah. The lesbian wedding. That's right.
That was yesterday, I think.
He's been called a Clinton asset, a Russian, and a grifter, as a matter of fact. That's the first line of the grift. Last stand I came to deliver, I've been called a Clinton asset, a Russian, and a grifter. I'm starting to get really good with his lyrics. Like, it's insane.
This little guy.
Because I love that guy, and he's a genius.
Look at the boy.
For sure.
He's so cute.
Boy.
Little trash
with
panda
his feet in the bowl.
That is cute.
With his feet in the bowl and everything.
The guy washes hands. That's
our mascot. That's our mascot.
Yeah.
I still like the rooster though. I have the rooster shirt. Why you guys gotta change shit on me?
The Bong Father is still.
I was like the first person to buy a rooster shirt, the Bong Father shirt. I was like the first person other than Indy.
You're like the only person. You're like the only person other than me.
You gotta grab an INN shirt now. You have a one of a kind.
Reef, stop making new shirts. I will buy them.
I have Media Today shirts. Those are but they fell apart. Like you have to wash them inside out or they fall apart.
I'm not buying more shirts. Stop it. No more shirts.
Have you? There's a Twitter, Misty, and you should follow it.
Shirts that go hard.
Shirts that go hard, and it's the funniest thing. It's so funny. Like they have the funniest shirts ever.
I know, and it makes
and
awesome.
someone links them.
It's like crap,
in the comments.
guys. I see these and I'm like, oh, I need that shirt. And it's like a 10-minute conversation with me. And you don't need a new shirt. You don't need a new shirt. You don't. I know it's a cute shirt. I know it's funny.
But you might. You might.
You have like 742 shirts, Missy. You don't need a new shirt. Stop it.
You might need a new shirt.
I don't need any more shirts, you guys. It's
you
a
might
problem. Though. I don't. I have so many shirts.
All right, guys, go watch Oz and Shanda. It's 10 o'clock. They're gonna go live.
Yeah, and I'm tired.
We'll be back next week for another bitch.
Yeah, I'll be back next week. Check out TNT Radio Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the Misty Winston Show. Great lineup next week. Thanks to Indy. That is really, I have nothing to do with that. I have very little to do with that.
Wednesday. We still need someone for Wednesday, but happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yes.
And tomorrow night, how do we miss that? 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. Come and hang out with us, and we'll do some boats. And after I talk about some nightmare fuel.
Okay, and we'll be back next week. Same time, same place, same bitch. Yep, that's all I got.